let's get into the Disclosure Project. For 100 plus years, advanced technology has been seized, isolated, and hidden away. This has suppressed the advancement of technology and human progress. The Disclosure Project archives include government documents from the United States, Canada, Australia, Russia, and the UK, 145 top secret facilities and base maps, 755 now, witness accounts from military, corporate, and government sources, 121 UFO crash retrievals.
Yep, that's all in our archive.
What is some of the 145 top secret facilities that you know about?
Well, everyone talks about Area 51. That's an old one. It's still operational. And particularly, S3, S4, Pahut Mesa, out in Groom Lake.
Are these in the U.S.?
Yeah, this is Nellis.
Okay.
That one. And that's operational, has been since the 50s. A more state-of-the-art one is actually in the Dugway Proving Grounds, which is in Utah.
Is this the one that you disclosed at the conference?
Yes.
I'm going to put a picture up of it right now.
And so that facility, there's something called the Avery sector, Avery, where there are these assets. There's an extraterrestrial vehicle that was being studied there when one of our witnesses, I think he was there in 2009, when that object had been downed. They're downed by these electromagnetic pulse weapons because the ET craft are completely electromagnetic. So, a kinetic weapon would not be so effective, missile or a laser. But an electromagnetic pulse or scalar weapon stuns them and they'll come down. Sometimes they crash, sometimes they're intact. If they're intact, then you have the whole thing to study. And that's where this man was in a facility where they had an entire intact one. And then, there's a vast underground facility there.
So they're downing these aircraft with basically a directed EMP weapon.
Yes, but are more sophisticated than the legal constitutional government would know about because you're going to add to normal EMP, let's call it a supercharged part of it that's scalar, what I mentioned before, where it's a point that goes out longitudinally without the waveform.
Okay.
So that's why, light propagates at 186,000 miles every second. These are not limited that way because it's a point that goes out straight line. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now you're exceeding the speed of light.
It's essentially teleportation.
That's different. We'll get into that if you want to. But no, I'm talking about just a type of energy weapon. Mm-hmm. But it can also be used for communication. And I think in the old days, in the early 20th century, mid-20th century, there were people who stumbled across, and Tesla wrote about scalar waves.
So hold on,
can be used for other.
This isn't a point A to point B line. It's not linear. It's not a linear weapon. If I shoot a gun, the bullet goes. You can see it,
right?
And if I shot a laser, you could see it. Travel from point A to point B. Are you saying that these weapons do not?
Well, they go from point A to point B, but bypassing linear space-time, meaning they're in the entangled quantum. Okay. So quantum entanglement basically is where every point in space and time is connected through what's called quantum entanglement. Mm-hmm. So when you have a quantum scalar weapon, then you're able to target an object at multiples of the speed of light. And those weapons they're very dangerous because one of the things we have to be careful of is while these civilizations that are extraterrestrial are, to me, they're the equivalent of Gandhi, that they haven't struck back at all. But I'll be honest with you, the more these weapons get perfected, and you get into multiple generations of them, the more humans are a risk to other planets.